Hey everybody, today I want to talk about one of my favorite games for the NES, Adventures of Lolo. Let's go! Adventures of Lolo was released in 1989 for the NES. It was developed by HAL Laboratory, who would later go on to bring us the Lolo and Kirby series. The game is an offshoot of the Japanese Eggerland puzzle game series, which debuted in 1985 for the MSX computer system and subsequently in 1987 for the Famicom Disk System. The premise is simple, but differs somewhat between the original Eggerland mystery and the Famicom version. Here you play as Lolo, a blue spherical... The evil King Egger kidnaps the Princess Lala, for some reason. You should probably read the manual. And now you must climb the floors of his castle to rescue her, solving puzzles and avoiding enemies as you go. There are 10 floors and 5 rooms per floor, so it's 50 levels in all. It's not a game you're going to knock out in an hour. When you enter a room, one of the first things you'll notice is a treasure chest. Your goal is to collect all of the heart framers. Once collected, the chest will open with a jewel inside. You collect the jewel to proceed to the next room. Early on, the enemies will be stationary and easy to avoid, but as you progress, they will gradually become more difficult. Your attacks are limited, so you're forced to think strategically. Some can be trapped and some can be killed. The emerald framers can be moved about the room to trap enemies, and Lolo can use the magic shot to turn an enemy into an egg. The egg can then be moved either to shield you from an attack or sometimes to create a bridge for hard-to-reach areas. A second shot will destroy the egg, but the enemy will eventually respawn in its original location. Magic shots are limited, so use them sparingly. You also occasionally will receive special abilities to help you clear a room, such as the hammer ability that allows you to smash rocks to gain entry to previously unreachable areas. Once you collect the jewel, all remaining enemies will automatically be cleared from the screen. I remember renting this game a few times as a kid, and while I never did beat the game, I enjoyed it for its simple, stress-free gameplay. There's no time limit, so you're free to complete the puzzles at a leisurely pace. I like how friendly the snakies are. They don't actually hurt you, they just stand there smiling while they block your way like a dick. Go smiling to your grave. The controls are easy enough to figure out. It's mostly intuitive. You push objects around simply by walking into them with a D-pad, and pressing the A button uses magic shots and other power options. Hitting select results in an automatic death that allows you to reset the level if you've gotten yourself stuck. Look at his face. A password system allows you to pick up where you left off, and you have infinite continues. The character sprites are small, but the game utilizes a simple cartoony design for all of its characters, and this simplicity keeps the objectives for each puzzle and your place within it perfectly clear. The screen never feels too busy to understand what's going on. And the music here is minimal. It's pretty much just a single tune that repeats for most of the game, and you're hearing it. Catchy enough for what it is, but nothing to write home about. Hey bro, am I in your way? Oh no! I would say unless you have a photographic memory or are just really good at memorizing entire games, you'll be able to come back to this game from time to time to test your puzzle-solving skills. Some of the puzzles look simple at first glance, until you run your 10th auto-death. The reverse is true as well, with some puzzles being surprisingly simple once you've sized them up. The challenge here is moderate. Although the game's difficulty does progress with each room, the password system gives you all the time you need. This isn't necessarily a fast-paced game, unless you're just awesome at puzzles. There are no boss fights until the top floor, and no points to be earned for your efforts. That's not to say you won't rage quit and throw your controller when you come across a particularly complex room, but for the most part, this is a slightly more strategic game than you might be expecting. The box art could easily fool someone into thinking it's just another platformer. While the series is considered generally successful, back in the day no one I mentioned it to even knew about it. Whenever I brought it up to my friends, I received strange looks, sometimes being mocked and pelted with unplayed copies of Shaq Fu for even broaching the subject. But, like Lolo, I persevered. The legacy of the series was solidified with the release of Adventures of Lolo for the Virtual Console on the Wii and the Wii U, and the characters persevered in other ways. The game was successful enough to garner 2 sequels on the NES and 1 on the original Game Boy. The series came to PC in 1996. Also, Lolo and Lala have now become a part of the Kirby franchise, and even made regular appearances in the anime series Kirby Right Back At Ya.
You stay here in the castle.
I never. Yeah, we're a team like peanut butter and.
Well, today just make like you and that there's an order.
Huh. Kid shows these days are very different. Well, there you have it, Adventures of Lolo. If you like puzzle games, I say check it out. If not, I still say check it out. You might be surprised by the charm of the game. Till next time.